Hey everybody, I just want to take a few minutes. I'm going to show you what I am making for dinner tonight. I am going to be using our Tupperware microwave pressure cooker. It is one of our premium products in our catalog, but before I get into the recipe, I want to show you some of our features of the pressure cooker and why it is safe to use. It's not like pressure cookers of my mom's era that really kind of frightened me when they were on the stove and all of that pressure was building. Those really kind of scared me. And even when this came out, I was a little apprehensive on using it. But the safety features of this product is safe to use. So it is a 2-quart capacity. It does have a twisting locking mechanism to put your cover to the base. It's just a put it on, slide, and lock it into place. And it even has this locking handle, so you actually have a double locking mechanism, okay? Some of the features inside of the cover. This is your pressure regulating valve. So when that is raised, the contents are under pressure. You don't want to touch the valve, and you definitely don't want to open the cover. This other valve over here regulates if the pressure gets too high, it will release a little bit of that pressure while it's cooking. But the pressure is what makes whatever you're making, your meats, your stews, anything that you put inside makes them really tender. And you can get your meal on the table 30 minutes or less. The last feature I want to show you is the silicone cover gasket. That keeps all of the pressure inside and not coming out from under the cover, okay? So let me just trade cookers here because this is my display model. So I am actually going to use mine that I have in my kitchen that I use about once a week. I make something, and because I live alone, when I make something in a 2-quart capacity, it gives me some leftovers that I can take to work. Okay, so we are going to start with a 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I know a lot of people don't like chicken thighs. You can use chicken breast. I do prefer the chicken thighs. So they are cut up in the same bite-sized pieces. And that's important when you're using the pressure cooker, that you want your meats or potatoes or vegetables all to be about the same size, so that they will cook at the same rate. So into the pressure cooker it goes. We are going to season with just a little bit of salt. The recipe calls for a half a teaspoon of salt. I just kind of eyeball this because I really have more than a pound of chicken in there as well. So I'm just going to season this. Set that aside. And then we need, and aren't these pretty? These are my Sheerly Elegant bowls available in your catalog. So I have 2 sweet potatoes peeled and chunked. I have 2 carrots peeled and chunked. Now, when I peel those, I save those peelings and I make a vegetable stock from all of that later. So I save those peelings in my freezer. So do that. I can tell you about that later. So in that goes, right in on top of the chicken. Then we need 3 cups of a chicken bone broth. And I just use the bone broth that I can find in the store. If you can't find bone broth, you can use a vegetable stock, a chicken broth, anything like that. But you need 3 cups. And because I am using a little bit more than what the recipe calls for, this is a 4-cup box. So I'm going to use the entire thing, or pretty close to it, because I want everything that's in here to be covered. Yeah, we'll just use the whole thing. Why not, right? Okay, and then last ingredient before we throw it into the microwave is we need 1 cup of a salsa verde, and that's your green sauce. Oh, I probably should have opened that first. So we need 1 cup, and I'm going to do that right over top in case anything spills. It's going right into the soup. Okay. And then Hold please, I forgot a spoon. We're gonna give that a quick stir. We are going to put the cover on. So it starts at an angle, and it's got a little arrow here to show you how to line it up. So you're gonna start it at an angle and twist it, and then you're gonna lock it into place. I'm gonna throw this into the microwave for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna take that out and I'm gonna come back and show you the rest. So join me right back. Thanks. And we're back. So we had the pressure cooker in the microwave for 20 minutes. I took it out after the cooking time, and I've allowed it to sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until the pressure valve goes down, and that tells me then it's safe to open our contents here. So we're just going to finish this off. So we're going to unlock and give a twist. Oh boy, look at that. And I'm just going to give it a quick stir. I just want to test that everything, oh yeah, look at our sweet potatoes, our fork tender. Our chicken is cooked. Okay. Now, what we are going to add to this, we need about a cup of packed spinach. I call that a good handful. You're just going to add it right in, and the heat of the soup is going to wilt that in. Okay, so we're taking our spinach out of our Fridge Smart container. Love those. I'll tell you about those another time. We need about a tablespoon of lime juice. So depending on how much juice I get out of here, should be about half of a lime. So I'm going to use our Zest and Press and squeeze some lime juice in on top of this. You know what? I'm going to actually use both halves. Oops. Squeeze. Ooh, look at that. That seemed to have more juice on that side. So juice that. And then as an optional thing, you can add cilantro. Cilantro is one of those things people either love it or hate it. I happen to love it. So we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of cilantro. Mix that right in. Give it a stir because I want that spinach to melt and wilt right in. And that's it. We're going to dish this up and have some dinner. So thanks for joining me.